What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? Today is going to be the last episode of the year for Damn Believes You So Fine, or whatever you call this show. I don't really have a name for it. We're going to talk about what's going on in the ecosystem. I'm going to give you a prediction of where I think Luna Classic is going to go, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I'm going to give you a real, as fair as I can, sort of breakdown as to what to expect in the future. But for today, let's kind of wrap up a little bit of the past, where we are, and then try to figure out where we're headed. So if you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button on your way in, and let's get after it. All right, first, before we get started, I am partnered with Weeks, if you didn't know, and Weeks allows for Luna Classic futures trading. And that's a rarity in this market. Now, at some point, Luna Classic will end up being listed with a bunch of United States exchanges, and we'll see an enormous pump. It's still coming, but in the meantime, if you want to do some futures trading, this is a non-KYC platform, Weeks, W-E-E-X. There's a link in the description down below. You can sign up, and as you can see right now, I'm up 75% on an Ethereum long and 26% on an XRP long. We only went in for a couple, so it's not huge to begin with. But if you want to get started and do this on a place where they're not asking for your personal details, then go to weeks.com. Link in the description below. Sign up today. For your risk-based gaming, TerraCasino.io. This is where you go. You've got Santa's Christmas Rush. You've got the daily cash drop that's available. You've got the Black Friday special. You've got the World Poker League, and you know which ones you can use. You can even use XRP if you want in order to wager here at the Terra Casino. And then finally, if you're trading meme coins, and by the way, if you were trading meme coins, you're real happy today. Do you know why? Cookie went crazy, and everybody made a few bucks off of it, I would think. So the lunc to cookie pairing is up 100%. I'm going to show you cookie in just a moment here, but if you're wanting to trade, Terraport.finance is your place to go. Now, as far as cookie went, Cookie Monster meme coin on the Terra Classic network is up 354% over the last 7 days, having a nice little breakout. Now, to be fair here, to give you guys an idea here, I have $5 in cookie coins that I got a while back, right? And it's now worth $14. Not life-changing or anything like that, but when this thing goes up, and it will continue to rise. It's at a 977,000 market cap right now. But what happens when that liquidity, which is currently 20,000, goes to 200,000, and we 10x, we 100x from here to, you know, a magnificent total? What happens then? Well, hopefully that's going to be a really big move. And listen, these guys stuck with it for a long period of time. Look, I'm going to zoom out here and show you. This is what's been going on all of this time right here, and you just finally got that breakout. This could be the start of a lot of stuff breaking out. I'm not sure yet. We don't know. But as you can see from the rest of the meme coins here, we've got Juris Protocol, Food still doing pretty well. Cat with Hat doing pretty well. We've got the Boys still kicking it up. Garuda X still going for it. We've got down here, we got LNC, Lunc Pepe. We've got a bunch of them. We've got Lenny Lunc. We've got Hamster Meme. We had a bunch of different ones down here towards the bottom that really haven't spiked yet, but they're going to. So make sure you check out some of these meme coins today. Now, I started reading this on Commonwealth, and this is a post from Lunc eToro Community 23 Experience Report. There's been a lot of different proposals, 40 different proposals that went through this year. So there was a lot going on. And, you know, I'm not going to dig too deep into this because that's not really the point here. But this is to kind of summarize where we are. And if you look through that, see, you know, where what we've approved, what we've done so far. And it's really, nothing has gone exponential, okay? Everything is just kind of laid the groundwork for the future, but we're not in that future yet. So how do we get to the future really is the question. And the bull market is upon us. We are here in that bull market. So I would posit to you that I think that, you know, regardless of where we are and what we're doing, there's going to be an enormous amount of interest peaked in Luna Classic in the coming 3-4 months. And we're going to see an enormous spike in price action. We're going to see, can Luna Classic get passed by? Well, the simple answer to that is yes, it could. However, we still have a pretty vibrant community. Now, there's still cracks in the pavement, if you will, and there are still things that we need to overcome. Primarily among them is messaging. So let's summarize here, what the messaging sort of looks like, right? So you've got me. I don't think I'm helping too much here when I point out that there are a lot of TFL wallets, according to Happy Caddy Crypto, that still have 290 million USD and 58 million US, but they're clearly not TFL wallets, or something has happened in which they are no longer, for whatever reason, going to burn Luna Classic. Then we have the LFG, Luna Foundation Guard, which we know Duquan is no longer part of, but that's not really the point. The point is there's 1.8 billion USTC in the LFG, and that was meant to peg this, by the way, to maintain the stablecoin peg, which did not work. So, a lot of this stuff needs to disappear, and it has not yet. So, should be cause for concern. Luna Classic, 2.128 trillion still sit in Binance. So, we can't go below 2.128 trillion right now, even if everybody sacrificed and donated everything. Then you add in your staked coins, which are already in here at 978 billion, and you add that to that, and there's over 3 trillion tokens, 3.1 trillion to be exact, with just those two. And that doesn't include every other exchange. So we've got a very long way to go in order to make these burns happen. So we're going to look at a more raw number when I give you my prediction about where the top is in this cycle, and give you just an idea of what it takes to get where we want to go. Can we get there, and really just kind of check it out. Now, if you like Happy Caddy Crypto, there is a mobile wallet app that's available for you. It's Lunc Dash, and you can check it out at any time right here. So just download it, go to lunc-.com, and it is available for you. And as far as the burns, we started the spike to the downside when you look at it ultimately, and we had yesterday about 50 million, which looked good when you start to look at some of these compared to the last bunch of days. Interest has started to wane. The interest that's waning, I don't really think this is a big deal right now. I think when you kind of just zoom through here and just kind of check out where we had been going, and some of these enormous spikes over here, when you start looking at some of that, you get envious that we're not burning nearly as much. But I would say this: if you come down over here, you'll get 25 and 35 and 43, and going back through November and some longer time frames, then we've actually burned quite a bit. If I do this on a weekly basis, then you can see right here that other than this 250 billion that was burned right here in November, we had 3 billion burned here. We had 67 so far for this week. We've had some good weeks, but we just hasn't been enough. So again, we're going to talk about all that tomorrow when we give a nice big prediction. Now, as far as Leonardo, 2024 was a massive year for Cryptonomy.finance, and 2025 expects to be even bigger. Folks, we're getting into the bull run right now, and to celebrate, Cryptonomy is having a New Year giveaway with a chance to start 2025 with something quite extraordinary. The prizes up for grabs at Cryptonomy are a Range Rover autobiography. 3 winners will receive 1 Bitcoin each. There'll be 30 iPhone 16 Pro Max winners and 100 winners of $100 in Pepe. And how you participate is this: open and hold active margin positions on Cryptonomy's trading platform, invest in the Launchpool during the eligibility period, and entries will close on January 11 at 11:59 p.m. UTC. The winners will be announced on January 12. So what does that look like? All right, I ain't no fool. So we're going 20,000 into the Launchpool contract. Now, I'm going to use the bronze level. We've created the contract, so we are locked in. Also, the second thing that we had to do was set up a margin trading position. My position right now on my Bitcoin long is 148.5%. On Ethereum, 123.76. We're getting into the bull run right now. We're going to open up a long with 50 Solana. We're going to take that position right now. 148% is the expected profit. We're going to use a 10x leverage position, and we've confirmed. And now we have another position open, 50 Solana this time. Let's see how this goes. I think these are going to be incredible returns. Join me on this journey. Now look, we already know a lot about Cryptonomy and its strengths, and I'm excited to highlight them again. As someone who's worked with the company for a long time, I'm confident to say that 2025 is set to be a breakthrough year. With major updates and collaborations on the horizon, Cryptonomy is ready to soar to new heights. You can earn great passive returns on staking and other programs. You can gain exclusive bonuses, including Cryptonomy token airdrops at their launches in early 2025, and enjoy countless other perks that come with being part of this growing ecosystem. Now is the perfect time to get involved. Don't miss your chance to benefit from everything Cryptonomy has to offer and kickstart your journey with a winning opportunity. And the repeg proposal here, they're kind of off for the holidays, I would say. So we'll probably address this going into the new year. Cookie is taking off. We know that. But let's look at price action and get an idea of where we're going. Now, I've taken some liberties here on this chart, and I'm kind of looking at it, looking for the breakout moment. Like, where's the real breakout moment? For a long period of time, I've been telling you guys, I think that, we got a move going to 2 right now. That the next impulse move would go to 2. Now, here's the thing. If we zoom out just a little bit and we start to see that, if that trend line is actually a trend line and it's valid, then this move right here, it has to come up here pretty quickly. Otherwise, we're going to be in the 19s. So I would suspect that there is a possibility that this plays out a little bit longer than what I'm thinking. But I've been adamant here that I think that this is the next little range that we go for a test. Now, while doing that, what I did do is I started looking at this and I said, maybe I've got this trend line a little bit wrong. And maybe if I just move this up here, maybe if I move this down here and say, well, that's the spike right there. And then what does this look like? And this is actually close enough right here, 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 and here. This is actually close enough to say that, maybe I'm wrong in the beginning by holding on to this, it really looked too perfect as a trend line. So then the question would be, well, what happens next? And nothing really changes fundamentally, except that we're starting to get into this little range here. And if we zoom this out just a little bit more to give you guys an idea, there is kind of an inflection point here where, we're still going to pump and it's going to hit that line, but it won't be nearly as big as what I said before. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case, but it should be. I just wanted to make you guys aware that when I'm looking at this stuff, my eyes are starting to change a little bit on some of the trajectory that, we have to kind of work on. So, and that's just, by the way, I'm just kind of riffing here to give you guys an idea, but ultimately, the important thing is there's still these breakouts, right? These big breakouts are still, in my opinion, in that pipeline, and we'll see whether or not they happen. I do think that they will, but we're going to go back over this. We're going to get an idea tomorrow. We're going to take a deep dive into this chart, and we're going to figure it out for the new year so that you guys know, so that I know, so that we all know what's going on. As far as volume goes, 43 million for the day. BTCC, by the way, I did talk to some people in the industry, 18 million in volume. It turns out BTCC is a pretty trustworthy organization. So if they're saying it's 18 million in volume, then there's reason to believe that that's accurate. But Binance only has 8 million in trade volume, which means that the Asian community, generally speaking, are not really as on fire with Terra Luna Classic as they had been previously. And we're about 2 days away from another big burn, or a day away from another big burn. So we'll see whether or not this causes a spike in price action. I don't think at this point that burns of the level that we get out of Binance are going to spike any price action. I don't think that there's only a few things that I think are going to spike price action. Number one, banana zone of the bull run market. People finding it and taking a risk-based approach to, this could be a nice little moon bag. I can actually see it. And people agreeing on that would start to pump it. And if you guys remember, if I zoom out here and I go to all time, and, this is where the dump really kind of happened here. This was where we were, 1.84 billion going up into right there at about 2 billion. We went as high as 2 billion, which is about a 4x from where we are right now. So, and we have less tokens. So, there really is an opportunity here for an enormous spike. But, you got to kind of zoom out and you got to kind of look at it from the context of, where can we go? How high can, like how high can all of this end up? And, look, market cap over $1 billion. let's look at this and say, well, what if it goes 5 billion, something like that. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. How high can we get and what will it look like? And then for USTC, what will it look like? Again, 9 million volume, it's going down, but we're at the end of the year. So we got a lot to cover. We got a lot to go over tomorrow. I'm not really sure what the long-term answer is. I remain bullish. I remain ultimately bullish, but I also predicted 2.7 cents, and I need to go back and I need to look for myself and say, is this going to work? Does this have anything to it that would put us in that realm? Because a lot of what I gave you in the beginning at 2.7 cents said that we would have been repegged by now. We would have been burning tokens by now. We would have been reducing supply so that, more people were staking and less people were on Binance, and people were moving their tokens off and they were getting into the ecosystem and they were burning. And now we have this thriving, we've got a metaverse game coming out. As a matter of fact, there's a lot that's happening in the background that you guys might not even know about because, we're kind of a degen sort of community. So there's a lot to unpack here. We're going to unpack it all over the next couple days. Now, while I say that, don't forget that FTX, the biggest crash ever in crypto, is going to pay back their creditors. And when they do, that's going to add billions into this market. And when it adds billions into this market, then Terra Luna Classic, which is one of the predominant coins that move along with FTT token, will get a nice pump, in my opinion. And it's happened multiple times before, so there's no reason to think that it won't happen again. So we could very well see just an enormous sort of spike happening over the next little while. So let's see what happens, and have a happy new year, and we will see you again tomorrow. And remember, none of this is financial advice, but I'm always right. You guys take care. We'll see you again.